Don't.
Gotta be careful with that Corolla virus going around. Don't want to be getting sick here. Catch a 4-cylinder real quick. Alright, T-tops aren't leaking too bad today. Plenty of room in here to move around and be comfortable and move freely. Clutch isn't hard at all. Very practical. Let me just pull out of traffic like a responsible person. Jesus. Alright. Alignment's great, better than ever. Another reason it's very efficient on gas. You get about from one gas station to the next. It's pretty good. Sometimes I can go every other gas station, but we're gonna skip that one and get to the next one. If you don't want a lot of attention, obviously driving around town, no one looks at you. You kind of just blend in. You know, I could be behind a newer Civic and in front of like a older Subaru Outback or something. I kind of just blend right in. No one really notices. It sounds about the same. You know, kind of sounds like there's no cats on it or anything. Just kind of rusted off. See, they weren't looking, or them. They both weren't looking. You can tell they're not looking because as you go by, their head goes like this. That's how they're not looking. Pay attention to something else. So bad. You know, it turns by itself. If I just let go of the wheel, we go real quick towards the ditch. It's just getting pulled over, so it's kind of just knows to go that way by heart. I'm going this way. She was like, what?
I know, she like shook her head. She's like, eh?
Because I got the gloves on. That's that nice race clutch. Kevlar in it. The drag slicks hold up nice on these freshly paved Mexico roads. Oh, goodness.
Didn't expect the car.
All my shotgun shells go flying. Perfect for taking the kids to school. If you live in Mexico, of course. Pretty reliable. Only pops a tire like every week, every other week, occasionally on a weekend. Sometimes 2 in a weekend if it's, you know, going on the highway or something, doing pulls. You know, yapping Mustangs and GTRs and Hellcats, and, you know, whatever else there is that's considered fast. I don't know. Gotta be real careful when you're driving down the road. You see people on the side, you might frighten them. Give them some rum. They don't look very impressed.
She was like, what is that?
Give her a little hustle. Shift. Car does have some requirements. It takes oil. It does take gas sometimes. Tires occasionally. Has to be wide open every time you drive it, otherwise it won't run properly. You either have to go really, really slow off the clutch, or you have to dump it. There's no in between. Allow me to demonstrate. All right, let's just pull forward slowly. Oh, okay. So let's go, I guess. That's basically every red light for you. Has ABS.
Talk about the 6 gears.
It has 6 of them. Oh, spinning. Don't worry, that was only 3% throttle. Jeez, I'm doing 110 over. Mostly just go first, second, third, fourth. Don't use 5th unless we're on the highway. Don't use 6th unless we're going above 200 usually, otherwise it bogs out. Can't be doing under 106, otherwise it's just kind of sputtering and I can't really do much. It does rolling burnouts anywhere from 0 to like 240 miles an hour. You know, I try to be a little easier on it around 200. Just because, you know, going backwards at 230 was pretty scary when I was gapping 4 Nissan GTRs that were triple turboed. Front shift like a boss. And this is where you gotta be really careful on a car like this. You gotta take the pedal and just lightly press it. There's only about 5.5% throttle, you know. It's pretty scary if I really lean into it, but we only got liability insurance on it right now, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to kill somebody, because the faster I'm going, the more deadly it is. You might hear that a lot, and it's true. See, there's 6th gear at 50 miles an hour. It's basically about to stall, so we gotta leave it 5th. But like I was saying, it's very dangerous the faster we're going. Not because I'll crash, but because the faster I'm going, the faster people look at it. So if I'm going by at 30, people are like, whoa! If I'm going by spinning tires, doing a rolling burnout at 160, they're just snap, and they just kill themselves right there on the sidewalk. And it is a horror story. I tried driving through the old port once, and I'm banned from the old port for life now, but it's just the perks to owning one of these badass cars, you know? It's basically a spaceship. Very spacious, like I said. I'm 6'3" and I can't hit my head off anything in here. Enough room for both wives and the 4 kids in the back. If you put both wives and 2 of the kids in the trunk. Basically, if you own one of these cars, you are a god. That's basically what happens. When they sign the title over to you, there's this little waiver you gotta sign that basically says you can destroy anyone and anything in your path. It's pretty serious. It's been going on for 30 years or so, I think. And yeah, they're pretty serious. You see this right here? That's the head of a spear, not a Pontiac symbol. That's the head of a spear. Because this car murders everything. I don't know. Murders Mustangs, murders CRVs, and Jaguars, and Chevys, and Ferraris, and other Pontiacs. Unless it's another WS6, and then the world. If two WS6s collide, it is an unstoppable force met with an unmovable object, and like the universe just disintegrates. If they race, they're just playing around, but if 2 WS6s like really try to kill each other, it's just like a lot of revving, a lot of rev limiter, and then out of nowhere the we all just disintegrate. So we try to be careful. There's a lot of testosterone with these vehicles. We have to take care of them. We got to keep them separated at times. I wear gloves sometimes when I'm taming it, because I'll just be like, hey, where do you want to go, Starbucks? And it's like, no! So we got to be really careful. Very powerful animals. And yeah, don't own one unless you want to become a god and destroy absolutely everything in your path. Except maybe this Honda Civic with HID, daytime running lights. That's like probably pretty fast.